everybody. Welcome to the market close. We're here on a very red day. In fact, the little bit of red I have in the corner to symbolize the red market, I kind of wish I had something stronger for today because it's pretty darn red out there. We're gonna definitely look at that. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about what the banana bread's going on. We also are going to talk about that little challenge to get you guys a Friday market close this week. So we set a challenge out for everybody at home as well as in the live stream on the weekend. Basically, we were looking for 50 views on the old NVIDIA video from February, and you guys gave it a good run. You gave it a good run for sure. You came close. I think last time I looked, we were looking at, just give me 1 second here. I think we were looking at 507 that we were, 507. Don't know what I'm thinking about. That's because I went to pull up the one that had it on it and I clicked on the wrong button, but here we go. So yeah, we're looking at 607 total views, which is what we're hunting for. Now, just before this came on, I took a look and we were at 591. So we came really darn close. Really darn close. So here's the thing. Some people are hardliners. I'm the opposite of that. It's like, we gave it a good country try. We did more than half of what I had asked. So yeah, we'll do it. We're just going to do it. I could have come in here and said, let's just do something. Let's give you another challenge to get Friday. But the fact that you guys got halfway to the challenge, I'm happy with that. I'm happy. So we will do a bonus market close on a Friday. It's done. It's in the bag. That's fantastic. Love it. All right. Now, before we get to the chat, and I can see you guys exploding in the chat, let's very quickly take a look and see what is going on with the market. And we usually look at it twice a day, before the bell and after the bell. The bell is, it's actually a little far away. I'll bring it closer so it's right in the forefront, so I'll have no problems ringing that bell when we get to the time. Okay, here we go. Look at this. The TSX, very deep in the red. They're down an entire 1.59%. So there's no level of miracle today that's going to get them back to the green. We're just going to have to face it. It was a great day to buy the dip if you were looking for some deals. The S&P 500 down as well, 0.6%. NASDAQ down 0.5%. Gold was down a full percent. Silver down, not as much as gold, because right now silver's kicking it. Silver's totally kicking it. Oil down 1.39%, and Bitcoin also down 1.5%. So red day for sure. This little thing over here on the side, by the way, this is actually Bitcoin. Just sort of watching what it's been doing today. It's just not a good day for the market overall. We'll go to the heat map. If you have like sunglasses, put them on now. This is your last chance because you're going to get hit with some red. Holy banana bread. Look at this. This is just absolutely red as can be. And you will see it's all led by BMO. Here we go. Bank of Montreal. They had their earnings today. Let's just say they did not meet expectations. As you can see, they fell right off a cliff, or a cliff. No, there's no T on it. They fell off big time. In addition to that, they also announced that they're putting away even more money for loan loss provisioning. Now, that made people a little nervous. To me, I was happy to hear that. It's like, I would rather the banks put away too much money than not enough. Because when that wave of mortgage renewals hits, we want the damage to be as minimal as possible. So putting away more money, I think, was a good thing. But people did not react very well to this news today. So far, banking season, it hasn't been that bad. I mean, TD started last week. They beat expectations. Scotiabank beat expectations. A National Bank National Bank not only beat expectations, but they pumped up their dividend. So National Bank's dividend went from what was it, $1.06 a share to $1.10. So that's not too shabby. Now, I bet you they fell anyway, didn't they? Oh no, they didn't. Look at this. Look at this. The outlier. The outlier. The ones who are saying, what? It's a buy the dip day? Screw you. We're going up. We're going to the moon. We don't care. That's exactly what happened with National Bank. So, those of you who have been bullish on National Bank, today's your day. Today's your day to sort of hold your head high because they're they're pretty much one of those little. They're like the oasis. Like, look at this chart. What's green on this chart? National Bank. That's it. That's it. So that's fantastic. Now there is like Loblaws. Loblaws is in the green. They're up almost 1%, but Dollarama's down. Look at this. Alimentation Couche-Tard, they're down. But yeah, the banks just took a hit. They really, really did. Even BNS, after their good report earlier in the week, down negative 2.21%. All right, let's take a look at the U.S. The U.S., whoops, I should turn on the negatives as well here. We had things turned off a little bit. And we're in the currency. Give me 1 second. There we go. There we go. Here's the big map. A little bit less red than Canada, and that reflects where they were. So yeah, look at it. Oh, this is not the U.S. I'm looking at this. I'm like, wait a minute. This is the Canadian ETFs. All right. So we got a lot of red in the Canadian ETFs. This is a new heat map as well. We added it to, we started adding it, I think, last episode. So if you had missed last episode and you're looking at it and going, what the heck is that? It is the Canadian ETFs. So yeah, not a lot of green in the Canadian ETFs today, but you know, that market, what can you say? All right, now this is the US one. All right, so the US one does look a lot better. So we got oh, look at this. Nvidia is up, Apple's up, not much, but up a little bit. Meta though, they're tanking a little bit on the hard side. Negative, they're down 1.23%. So you gotta, you gotta like it. Even Tesla's managed to go up a tiny bit today. So yeah, and here we go. This should be another red one. Here we go. This is our crypto, and you can see Ethereum down, Bitcoin down. Solana is actually up a tiny bit. Shiba Inu, that's up a little bit as well. Or sorry, Shiba Inu. There we go, up 2.73%. So that's not too shabby. All right, let's get to the chat. Let's get to the chat. You guys have been in here just pounding up this chat, so we definitely got to see what's going on here. Marco was in first today. Hey everyone, hyped for this. Canadian banks got clobbered today. Anyone buying? Let's go. All right. And Vic says, couldn't help but pick up 100 BMO. Well, you might as well. I mean, you know, they're down. They're going to come back up. It's not like they're going out of business. So Enid says, hello, everyone. Vic says, everything besides NVIDIA not doing well. And National Bank. Remember, Vic, National Bank's doing great. Andy's in the house with indeed a very red day. Time to buy the banks. Yep. We got Mary in the house with a hello. And speaking of Mary, Mary's the custodian of the like button. So, you know, if you want to do Mary a solid and the channel and me, hit that like button, turn it blue, let the algorithm know we're all having a good time here today. Stan's in the house with a hello all. And we got Trevor. We got some TD and Fortis today. Nice, nice. Vic says, what, 8 people here and 9 likes? Ooh, there we go. Well, there's about, I think right now there's 29 at the moment. So I don't know how many likes we have, but hopefully it's, you know, at least 20. 29 would be ideal. Now we're up to 33. So there we go. Biz Markey says, good afternoon all. Just bought 45 shares of BMO. Yeah, BMO. They're the one to buy today, that's for sure. Yeah, below 120. Gim is in the house. Does this mean no rate cuts this June? Um, no, it doesn't mean that at all. Here's the thing. So the whole rate cut thing, I have been adamant on June for a long time. And about a month ago, I flip-flopped to July. And I'm not going to flip-flop back, even though most analysts now are saying about a 60% chance that we're going to get a rate cut next week on the 5th. I'm not flipping. I'm not flipping back. I will do one flip-flop, but I won't do two, because once you do two, that's your integrity just gone. So I'm willing to be wrong, and I'm actually hoping I'm wrong. So yeah, it is looking, and that's part of what's been going on here today. So some of the things that are sort of powering the red market today is, first of all, some of the bank information. So the whole stuff with BMO missing its profits, raising the loan loss provisions, that's not great. Some of the U.S. weakness is also not great. So with the U.S., we did have, for example, they did raise their treasury yields. And so as that happened, it kind of made things a little bit, it made us feel, I don't want to say us feel, but it kind of made people think, okay, there's really no chance of the US cutting rates anytime soon. And we're on the verge of a rate cut here in Canada. So a lot of people are kind of like going, oh God, that's going to tank the Canadian dollar. That's going to mess everything up. They can't cut that rate until the US does. There's a lot of people who think that. Now there is a buffer. There's a good buffer between the Canadian and the US rate. We're not at a danger point. We can cut a little bit. We could probably do one or two at the most before we really get any kind of a big backlash from that. So I think I personally think they're only going to do one. So they'll do a rate cut in the summer, and then they're going to wait and see what happens to the US. They may reevaluate later, but I don't think we're going to see a cut anytime soon after this one. So whether it be June or July, I'm sitting in the July camp right now, but I'll tell you, my heart's in the June camp because that's where I've been for so long before I flip-flopped over to July. So that's going to be really, really, really good. Now, the interesting thing, though, is it's kind of funny. When you look at the whole banking sector, I mean, you've got National Bank that absolutely did fine. They did fantastic, and they even increased their dividend. Now, I know a lot of people with Scotiabank. Scotiabank did beat expectations, but they did not raise their dividend. And a lot of people were expecting a dividend raise. I was thinking there was a good chance of seeing a dividend raise with Scotiabank as well, but they didn't. I think that did leave people a little bit disappointed. So kind of to the point that even though they did good, people were like, oh, they didn't raise their dividend, so how good can that good be? But I think they did fine. I think they did fine. So just something to keep in mind when it comes to what's been going on. I'm going to try to get caught up here before the bell. Probably won't make it, but I'll make the bell on time, though. Sammer's in the house. Bismarcky says, I'll watch it tonight, I promise. I think I watched it when it first came out. There you go. There you go. Yeah, Vic says, I was here a day early after the long weekend. Nice. Kevin and Kat says, yay, I made it. Hi there, gang. And Bismarcky, yeah, National Bank was the only green on the screen. Yeah. Well, do we have time? Yeah, we have time. We'll do this really fast. So even though it looked like it was only National Bank, let's actually filter out the losers and see if we got a few more. Yeah, look, Shopify a little bit, but I want to see somebody who's actually really green. Let's get rid of, whoops, we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of that. Seriously? Oh, I still got that one there. Yeah, they're really the only green. Like even coming down, you know, I can zoom in a bit and see, but no, there's no other green there. You're right. They are the only one. We got about 30 seconds to the bell, but yeah, holy banana bread. I better turn everything back on here because when we come in here for our final look, even though we're kind of technically taking that final look right now, but we want to make sure that everything is looking fantastic. All right, we got 15 seconds. Enough time for me to say, hey, 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 all from JJ. So JJ's in the house. Fantastic. And we're ready. Here we go. Here we go. Let's do it. I was like, I was trying to knock the red out of the market with that bell. It just, I don't know if it worked. I don't know if it worked, but yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Um, Jonathan's in the house. I'm here pre-bell. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Kievan Akaz says, I bought back into HMM.A. Fantastic. I'm still incredibly bullish on the Hammonds. So that's while they're down, that's the time to be loading up for sure. JJ says 34 likes, or sorry, 34 watching and 13 likes and counting. Oh my gosh, guys, it's not hard to click on the like button. Which is just hit the like button. Just do it. Just do it. It's peer pressure. We're all peering pressure at you right now. So yeah, just hit it. Vic says, my limit orders feel like holding lotto tickets, hoping it will hit. Well, you never know. You never know. There's nothing that will stop the market from having another crap day tomorrow. It probably won't though, because all the market has to have, at least for the TSX, is it just has to have a flat day, but it will look really green as we're kind of rebounding from the hole that we're in right now. So it'll be interesting. Mario says, good afternoon, everyone. And let's see. Vic says, BMO order filled, 500 shares filled today. Nice. Nice. And 9 is saying, darn it, BMO down nearly 8% last I checked. Oh, dear. I know. Vic says, frenzy of the last 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, sometimes. And that's when you get a lot of the movement in the chart, in the first 15 minutes and the last 10 minutes, I find. You get a lot of movement. So sometimes just putting in that limit order can actually can give you some really good buys. Gim says, doesn't raising the loan loss provisions admit that the banks gave out risky bad mortgages, contributing to the bubble real estate prices? Well, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. What it means is, because this is the thing. It's not that the banks gave out knowingly bad loans. The Bank of Canada came out during the pandemic and they said, oh, these interest rates are going to be low for a long time. So they gave bad information. People made low, a lot of people picked up mortgages and bought real estate that if they had known the rates weren't going to stay low, they never would have. And the banks probably wouldn't have let them either in that situation. So I wouldn't say so much that it was them giving out risky / bad mortgages. Some of them probably were. There's probably some people that absolutely got through that probably shouldn't have, and in better times wouldn't have. But I don't think it was kind of like them doing it on purpose. I think everybody sort of got caught up into the whole, oh, the rates are going to stay low forever. But it's also, you got to look at it this way too. And maybe, I don't know, I'm not trying to defend the Bank of Canada, but when they were all sitting there going, oh yeah, this is transitory, it's going away. We all knew that it wasn't. They printed so much money. How could we not have inflation? But then when you got the supply chain issues, when the supply chain started to kind of collapse, that just kick-started inflation and it never recovered. I think it still would have happened. Now, if we had not have had the supply chain, we probably wouldn't have raised rates as fast as we did because inflation wouldn't have gotten as out of control as it did. It still would have been bad, but it wouldn't have been really bad. So it's kind of like a whole bunch of things that happened. So just curious why all the red. A lot of investors are kind of spooked. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market right now, especially in Canada. A lot of people are like, are we getting the rate cut on the 5th? Is that going to collapse the Canadian dollar? Spoiler alert, it won't. But there's a lot of people out there that are, especially, I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen people hollering saying, oh my God, this rate cut is going to collapse the dollar. It's going to be terrible. And then I'd hear people yelling, oh my God, if we don't cut the rate on June 1st, we're going straight into a recession. Yeah, it's neither of those. So it's one of these things. I don't think if somebody is really, really fear mongering on YouTube, that's when you just find a channel where they're actually talking a little bit more rationally because, it's we're not in a worst case scenario. But the market the market does tend to sometimes overreact. And I think it's overreacting a little bit today. Basically from Treasury news in the States, what happened to BMO, people are just a little bit like, oh my God. So if anything, rejoice. It's a day you can get yourself some good deals. That's basically where I stand on it. And yeah, we had a good old bell. We had a good old bell. Um, let's see, Ricardo. So the dollar bounced up and yields went up as well. So that pushes all equities down, and that will too. Yeah, absolutely. So that when you're dealing with some of the prices and the currency conversion, that helps. That certainly helps. It can take a red day and make it a little more red. Let's see, what made the dollar go up? Well, once again, I think it's just all of the things happening together, everything with the yield, also the American dollar. It impacts the Canadian dollar because everything is in US. So when you look, and let me pull this up here for you. Now you can't see it right now. Right now, darn it, I was going to pull this back up. I was going to mention the Canadian dollar, but I don't have the Canadian dollar on here. I do have the US dollar, which ended up being up. Well, it ends up right now, it's about 0.49% up. So it's not too shabby. Let's see here. Ricardo says in the US, the dollar goes up for several reasons, but lately has been due to failed bond auctions. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, this is the whole catalyst for what's going on today in the Canadian market. Most of it is the US stuff. With the Treasury going up, that is sort of pointing out some of the weakness in the American, I don't want to say weakness in the American economy, but it's showing a weakness in the fact that when it comes to the rate cuts, the Americans are probably not going to be doing it anytime soon. So in a sense, it's almost like strength, but that in itself is weakness, if that makes sense. It may not, but we'll go with that for the moment. Vic says BMO dropped like mad in the last 2 minutes, and I'm swinging $300 loss unrealized. Holy cow! Yeah, you may have to sit on that for a little bit there, Vic, to get your money back. Ricardo says also majority of global transactions are based on the dollar-based transactions. So therefore, anytime any country is trying to buy a resource or trying to rebalance balance sheets, majority of them hold the dollar. So yeah, absolutely. Go green tomorrow. Maybe. Okay, and Ricardo has more. Let's see, if you want to see how things are for the stock market and you want to see a forecast, look at DXY, the VIX, 2-year yields, 10-year yields. That will help you see how the day trade will go. Another thing too is you can watch the world markets, right? Because before our market even opens, you can watch the Asian market, you can watch the European market. So you can get a general idea. Like if all of a sudden we're getting big red days on the Asian market, then we get to Europe and it's big red day on the Asian market, chances are we're not going to have a great day on our market. So it's kind of that whole thing. Whereas if they have all of a sudden a really strong day, kind of like the big green days, that could be good. That could absolutely be good as well. Vic says double whammy of property tax increase and higher mortgage. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of cities have been raising property taxes because they're sort of in that same boat. Like everybody's kind of behind the whole debt ball. And, they start pulling. Like, here's an interesting thing. It came out today as well that Canadians currently are $2.16 trillion in mortgage debt. That's a huge amount. 2.16 trillion with a T. So there's a lot of debt out there, and that a lot of that, not a lot, but a good chunk of that is certainly coming in this wave of mortgage renewals. So we'll have to see how that's all going to look when basically I was going to say the best words for it are the S word hits the fan, but when that stuff hits the fan. So we'll see what that's all looking at. 9 says government gave out a ton of stimulus to the public. Of course, it would cause inflation. Yeah, that was the whole thing. I mean, printing money, here, the US, the thing is, you print money, you create a larger money supply. it means your money is worth less. If your money's worth less, it's going to take more of that money to buy the same goods you could buy for less, last month, last year, that type of thing. So you have to know that's going to happen. It's kind of like, and that's a level of the economy that I think you could explain it to a 5-year-old child and they probably would understand it. But somehow the Bank of Canada didn't seem to grasp that that was going to happen. And I'm not gonna get too deep into it. I'm sure they have their reasons, but yeah, it seems to me this is one that they shouldn't have missed. All right. Ricardo says, thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Nice. Nice. Let's see. Yes, I totally forgot about the scan of global markets. Thank you. This is why I've been following you to pick up things on things I missed. That's what I'm here for. I look for the fine details. We'll bring them back. All right. Let's oh, I'm still small. I didn't realize I was still small. But all right, we will look at our final look at the markets. And what do we got here? So the TSX down 1.65% on the day. S&P 500 down 0.74%. NASDAQ down 0.75%. And you'll notice some of these things still changing. That's because you do have after-hour trading in the U.S. Gold down 0.98%. Silver's down 0.35%. WTI, West Texas Intermediate, they're down 1.45%. And Bitcoin's down 1.67%. Holy banana bread. Okay. And once again, look at this. I mean, other than National Bank, as we've already determined, they're the only people who are nice and green. We do have others that are up, but not up by much. And we did see BMO had another big drop towards the end of the day. You can't really see the extra drop. It's just, look at them. They're down. They're down big time. So, the last time they were this low was, well, back here towards the end of last year. So they basically erased all of their recovery. But don't worry. Once people get over this will start to look a little bit better. Now, after this week, I, of course, will be doing my quarterly bank review. So I'll pull them all up and we'll take a look at the winners and losers and all of that fun stuff. Whew. All right. And poor alimentation, Couche-Tard. CP is up. I don't see CN there. Normally they're right next to each other. Let's actually open up transportation. I actually didn't want to open up CP, but hey, there's CP, guys. Transportation. There we go. I got to click a little bit higher. Where the banana bread is, I'm missing something here. There we are. I had one of them turned off. So there we are. CNC, CP, both a little bit down. CNR is not doing that bad, but what can we say? All right, let's go to once again. This is the ETF one. So let's get rid of the red. See if we got anybody in here who's actually doing some green here today. We got a few. Well, look at this. When you look at like these here, like HOD, that there is a inverse ETF. So basically when oil goes down, it goes up. So that's kind of interesting. And this one here, I believe is that the natural gas one? I believe, let me pull it up and see. Yeah, natural gas inverse one as well. So a couple of these inverse ones. So these are things, if you're somebody who's playing. So if you're actually playing the market, one of the things that you can do is on a day when everything's going down, you can always invest in something like, HOD or HND. Now, these guys do use leverage as well. So they will fall faster or go up a lot faster than most things. But now this all here can't be. Well, I have a feeling most of this is probably like, look at this. This is probably an inverse as well, too, isn't it? Canadian gold inverse. Okay, there we go. Look at that. So yeah, it looks like most of the green are the inverses. So they're there. They're there. But oh well. Well, maybe not this one. What's this MCSM? Let's see. Manulife multi-factor Canadian. Okay, yeah. So this one here is this is not an inverse. So You have that. So, MCSM up 1.93%. So anyway, that's just the ETFs. I find this a little bit fun to take a look at them. Once again, back to the US. Got a lot of red in there, not a lot of green. There's a little bit. You got Nvidia. Nvidia is still doing fantastic. Like, look, they're still fine after this big jump. Looking forward, it's not going to be that deep. I believe it's June 6th when they're actually going to do their 10-to-1 stock split. So that will be kind of cool. That's coming up pretty darn fast. And crypto, once again, there's a little there's some altcoins. There's always altcoins in the green. Like, well, there's one Bitcoin Gold. Jitto, what's this Brett? What the heck is this? It's not worth much, but hey, and this thing hasn't even been around. It's only been around since March. I don't know. It's a meme coin. I don't mean to be to be hard on the meme coins, but it's a meme coin. There we go. So that's fun. Let's bring back. Okay, this time I'm actually going to bring me back full sized. All right. Let's see, where the banana bread were we at? I believe we were at Andy. So except TD today, I also got a new company that I think looks good for midterm. PGNY. Any thoughts on it? It just looks too good to be true. I'm not sure. I've seen the name before, but hello, we can pull it up. Let's actually, where do I want to go? Where is my, oh, I don't even have it up. That's fine. Let's just open a window and we'll pull up our resource sites. Okay, so it is PGNY. All right. Okay, it's a US progeny. Progeny is what you're looking at. Okay, let's take a look here. We'll start with we'll just start all the way back at the 3-year. Are we sure we're talking about, is this the same company? We'll go back to the 1 year. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm not super happy with that. They've been falling for a bit. If I have a feeling I'm looking at the wrong company, Andy. I think I am, but I wasn't too happy with that. But let's take a look at some of the key data on here. Return on equity 12.3, return on assets 8.48. Well, that's not too shabby. They don't have a lot of debt. They have that going for them, so that's good. So, I don't know. I don't know about this one. I'm not entirely sold on them. So when you say too good to be true, yeah, I'm not sold. I'm not sold. Let me just take a quick look at their overview here and see what is it that they actually do. They specialize in fertility and family building benefit solutions. Okay. Well, that type of stuff is pretty expensive, but yeah, I'm not sold on progeny. I'm not sold on them. It's kind of a interesting thing. I would be willing to watch them, but I'm just not sold on them. Let's see here. Oh, and we have a meow. All right. Mario says, I tried to pick up some BMO stock, but couldn't get it at 119 around. Tomorrow may have better deals. Yeah, you might. You might. What the hell? Meow. Jill just turned herself into meow. All right. Somebody's having some fun here. 9 says, sometimes printing money doesn't cause inflation if it stays in bank reserves, but in 2020, 2021, etc., public was getting the money directly. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. If you put it in the system, once it's out in the system into circulation and everybody's using it, you're gonna have it. You're gonna have it. Yeah. Here we go. It's not June 6th. It is. There we go. It's June 7th. All right. I knew it was in that vicinity. So yeah, June 7th. Cannot wait. Jonathan says, Brett's a name I can trust. Well, maybe. I mean, maybe. I would have to. Here's a funny thing. When it comes to crypto, I like the tried and true coins, the ones that have been around, the ones that actually have some kind of function. Like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, Solana, Polkadot, XRP, even Cardano, and I I'll even include Doge, which is kind of crazy because Doge just it should never it really just should fall away. But it's kind of like Elon's pet coin, so I don't think Doge will ever go anywhere. And I hate to say it, I think it's one of those ones that you can probably make money on it, and that yeah, yeah, I don't like Doge for that reason, but that's fine. It's time to have whoops. I should always forget to bring myself back. Coffee time. Coffee time. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so Andy says I did have the right company. So yeah, I saw the debt was really low, and it looked like they were doing better. So I thought to add them for 3 to 5 years. I mean, and they may do better. Like I just did a cursory, just a quick little look over, and didn't see anything that really grabbed me, other than their debt. I did like their debt. That debt was good. So it's not. I'm not saying that they're going to absolutely like. Here's the thing. I guess if you're thinking fertility, one of the big things right now is a lot of places, like the U.S. included and Canada, our fertility rates are pretty low. Like we're not producing enough people to maintain our current population. That's why immigration has been happening at breakneck speed, especially in Canada. Um, so it's one of those things that maybe there's something there, but right now there's just nothing that would, for me, like that first glance would be enough that I probably wouldn't dive any deeper. But if you're bullish on them, if you like their business model, go in deeper, take a look deeper. So for example, let's do it. Let's do this. I will bring it back up. All right, so we got PGNY. We'll open up another site here. Let's see. Let's go over to Simply for the moment. All right. Log in. There we go. Okay, so PGNY. There we go. Progeny right here. Now this is good. See, this here is better. They've got no risk checks. So right now they're saying that they're trading below their estimate of the fair value. They're expecting earnings to grow. That could be big. That could absolutely be big. Now, their earnings apparently grew by 42.2% over the past year. Now, the fact that their price is still down makes me wonder what they did with some of the extra earnings. But and then analysts are in a good agreement that the stock price will rise by 44.6%. So that's not too shabby. So when I look at this, that puts me more inclined to say, okay, maybe there's something there. But that's what I'm saying. You kind of have to, especially if you have a high conviction stock and you look at it and it's like, okay, the first look wasn't great. Always go deeper. Always go deeper, because sometimes it's hard when you got a cover, right? You remember that whole saying, you can't judge a book by the cover? Well, that's what I just did. And look, we went a little deeper, and that wasn't too shabby. There's there is some stuff in here that's kind of interesting. See if there's anything else in here that they have. So look at this. They're pretty close to being debt free. That's not too shabby at all. Yeah. And they are profitable. Oh yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I would really like to see some movement, though. I really would with it. So this to me is definitely a stock to put on the watch list, and it's probably not a stock to even open a smaller position in and see where they go. Because I have a feeling when you're looking at this and you're looking at the fact that they've got next to no debt, there's room. There's room for them to move upwards. There definitely is. So I wouldn't what's the word? I wouldn't dismiss this one so fast. I mean, if you like them, I think there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong. All right. And Sammer says, we'll pull away the big, will get me back to big. There are more than 14,000 crypto. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me see. They used to tell us on this site over here. Let's actually take a look and see. I don't know if it still does or not, but I want to go to stocks and investing. CoinGecko. CoinGecko used to say how many there were. But I know they've changed things up a little bit here. Let's see here. Trending. I thought they had. Well, maybe they don't anymore. But they used to have something I thought right here on the front that actually told you how many. Let me just try here. Let's see here. Let's do by market cap. Yeah, it's not telling me how many they have, but this is kind of a good thing too. When you come in to something like CoinGecko, you can sort of see things by market cap as well. So you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, there's Solana way up there. And Dogecoin is number 9 in market cap. That's kind of a little bit crazy. But dear, I could have swore this thing actually once at one point told us who had the biggest, but I guess not anymore. Oh, well, that's too bad. Yeah. Oh, well. But here, let's just take a look here. I'm kind of curious now. So yeah, when we look at the biggest 24-hour gains in crypto, we get that world coin. Now that world coin, I think that's that one that wants your retinal scan, and they're thinking of using it as kind of an ID check. I believe it's Sam Altman from OpenAI is associated with it. So definitely interesting. But anyway, let's we'll get out of there. That place is a little boring right now. Oh, and thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Are we still talking about Brett? But there's only one. Well, there's not probably only one Brett coin. But Brett, that's funny. That is hilarious. All right, I had an idea. Whoops. Let's not do that. All right, here we go. This here, by the way, guys, this is our Discord over here. This is just the welcome thing. Everybody sort of puts in their welcome in here, which is kind of weird. I don't know why. I thought general was going to be that area where people were just going to talk about this, that, and everything. But it's pretty much a wave. Everybody just waves at new people coming in. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I was going to say I'm going to add a new thing over here on Blossom. So you guys get to see my mug all the time, but I don't get to see yours. So I was thinking I'll put I'll add a thing and we'll call it I don't know, about you or something like that. Anyway, I'll put it up here. It'll just be a thread where if you want to, and you don't have to, but if you want to and you want to just throw your mug up, then folks in the community can see what everybody looks like. So that would be kind of fun, I thought. Yeah, anyway, I'll do that after the stream. I'll put that up in here. But in the meantime, one of the beautiful things I love over here is we do have our schedule, which is going right now up until July. I did add more to it. So, well, let me edit right here. This is already done, and so is that. So we'll get rid of that right there live. And we're kind of doing this one right now. So goodbye. All right. So we got the members choice video that I actually scripted it today. So we're going to talk about mutual funds versus ETFs. So if you don't know what the difference is and you don't understand the differences in fees and all of that stuff, that'll be a video for you. That was the members choice video. Now there was an error made on the members choice video. The error was all the members that came up with the topics, I put it in a poll, and I accidentally, and I only discovered this today, I accidentally dropped the poll for everyone. So you all got to vote on the members' choice this time around. So apologies to the members. By the time I discovered I had done this, it was like, Okay, I was done quite literally, I was coming in ready to script, and I discovered it, so I was like, "Okay, fine, fine." So you guys all got to vote on this one, so yeah, anyway, it was fantastic. So that's what's gonna be I'll be filming it tomorrow. Members, you'll get to see it tomorrow because members always get to see things a day early. The rest of you will see it on Friday, as well as your bonus market close. That'll be on Friday as well. Whew. Next week is going to be a fun week. So next week we've got holy banana bread. We got the 0 to 100K challenge, so huge. Then we got a market close on the 5th. Ooh, that could be a fun one if we get that price cut. If we get the interest rate cut. If we get a rate cut, ooh, that'll be a great one. Then we got the bank review coming out next week as well. So that's going to be a really, really good week. Then the following week, holy cow, that RESP video is actually scheduled now. And we also got a channel member live stream coming up that week. So we'll ask you guys in the channel membership what you guys want to see for that. So we'll have that. And there will be, of course, opportunities. Like next week, there will be another opportunity to add another market close. I try my best to get at least one opportunity every week. So we'll do that for next week as well. But yeah, and then the big one here, we're moving closer and closer to that 4,000 subs. Once we get there, we're going to do an open to close. So a full day of live streaming. So I'm already starting to think about it, and we're getting there. So right now we're currently at, let me find out. So 37.35. So basically 265 to go. So it can go fast. It can go fast. Like in the last 2 days, we picked up. Gosh. Oh, probably about 50 subs just yesterday and today. In response to the that leverage video. People liked the leverage video for sure. So yeah, but it brought in about 50 new subscribers to the channel just like that. So that's all it takes, right? A couple of really good videos and, you can definitely pull that number up pretty fast. So I'm not going to be complacent and thinking, oh, I got lots of time to prepare for that one because it could come faster than we expect. And I'm great with that. Another little thing. I'm looking at trying to shake up a tiny bit about the way I film, only because I want to try to, I don't feel like with the microphone on, like the microphone during the live streams is cool because it's nice and close. Like it's quite literally right here. You can sort of see it. Just bang. It's right in my face pretty much. But because I decided last year that I was going to stand for videos, the problem is it put me further away from the mic. And I think that's been an issue that some people have had. And I've been kind of struggling a little bit trying to get that a little bit better. So I'm going to look at trying to find a way to set up. I might even have to go back to sitting for videos just so I can get it closer. So I can get a nice clear sound. So that I'm going to play. I might even play with it as early as tomorrow morning when I'm doing my filming just to see what I can do. So look forward to that. So just kind of one of those things, because I do get the occasional person who says, oh, you should buy a better mic. And then, of course, there was that adventure where I went out and bought $1,000 mic and it sounded worse than the current mic. So, yikes. I'm just glad I got my money back for that one, because that was just like, what's going on? All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I am at. Right here. And AMVAS says Blossom Investor Social Toronto, June 25th, 2024, 5 to 11. Hope we could meet you all in person. So there's going to be a lot of people there. Brandon will be there. Canadian in a t-shirt will be there. I'm probably not going to make it to the Toronto one. I am trying to see if I can make it to the Montreal one. And here's the beautiful thing. There's been some talk in Blossom. There was a little thread on one of Max's posts yesterday. Max is one of the owners about, hey, come on. we all wanted Ottawa. Why didn't we get Ottawa? And so he's talking about doing in the fall. He's actually talking about having a having kind of a smaller little blossom event in the fall, and I will definitely be at that if that happens 100%. So that'll be kind of cool. So in that case there, and he said, he'd have to talk to see if he can get Brandon to come. Canadian a t-shirt said, yeah, I'll come to that. So we'll definitely have some folks at that one. That would be really, really fantastic. But I'm going to take a look and see if I can do the Montreal, because I would love to at least, and I know we got a few of you guys in Montreal, so I would love to get out for that. Bismarcky says, I think this is all my fault. I wore a red shirt to work today. The only time I'm ever worried about wearing a red shirt is if I'm on an away mission. But other than that, there's nothing wrong with red, that's for sure. And Jonathan says, where are we with the NVIDIA video views? We fell short, but we did okay. We got more than half of what I had asked for. So I'm giving you guys the bonus anyway. So you guys have got the bonus. Because I was thinking about it. It's like, well, you know what? At least now we know that doesn't work. It's like, let's not do that. We'll just stick to the normal thing that we do, like, some supers or whatever. But yeah, so you're going to get it. I think we fell short, not by a lot, probably by 20. And even then, I mean, by the time we get there, we might still hit it. I mean, you never know. But yeah. And so, oh yeah. And Stephen Orr. So it was Stephen Orr over on Blossom. So yeah, and that was fancy. And like I said, I try to read what you guys are putting over in Blossom. So if you are not yet over on Blossom, there's a link down below. Use that, head on over. Make sure you follow me so that way there I can see what's going on with you. I'll follow you right back. Because that way there I can get in. And I actually did go in on Steven's comment yesterday and I made a comment. So, just to sort of say, hey, I'll be there. But I like to go through that. I go through the feed. Now, the feed I go through on Blossom is the feed of the people I'm following. That's why it's always important. If you want me to look at your stuff on Blossom, you got to follow me so I can follow you back. That puts you in my feed. So that way there I can scroll. I can see what you're doing. And I love to comment and all that fun stuff. And also Discord. We got the Discord. The Discord, it's a little bit of its own beast. And here's the thing too. If you're on Discord, and you actually want me to comment. So you want my specific opinion, because a lot of times, there's a lot of conversations that go on there and I try to get caught up on them. But when you actually, if you use like the @ symbol in Mountain Finance, that will directly throw a thing on my computer. So that way there I get like a little one, like a highlight. And I know somebody is asking me a question directly and I go in and I take care of those right away. So yeah, otherwise I might, you may have to wait a bit longer till I stumble on your question. So yeah, use the call out to call me out, or I mean, heck, if it's really important, you could always just follow me over on Discord and send me a direct message, and then I'll get back to you. So it's pretty good. It's good. Same idea. Like even if you leave a message on one of the videos, I will get back to you. The only way I won't is, and this is kind of the thing, like at least on Discord, you can put whatever you want in it. On Facebook, as soon as you put something like you can even sometimes you can put a ticker in there and say, I got a question about EIT.UN. They see that dot. And it's like, it's a website. Websites are not allowed. So it won't, sometimes it'll delete it on me and I don't get to see it. So always kind of be a little bit cautious with that. Let me know, sort of, reach out. I mean, reach out. It's cool. I'm pretty good with that. Yeah. So I think that's all I got for you today. If you guys got any final questions, drop them in. We'll get to them. There's been many times where we've been at the point where I'm getting ready to go and the final questions have kept us on for 20 more minutes. So it's all up to you guys at this point. I'm just going to have a coffee while I wait. Also, be sure to hit that like button if you haven't hit it yet. I want to see a lot of blues down there. So, as in the like button blues, not the other type. Very, very good. All right. Can you look at Hum, please? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right. So Hum is a Horizon ETF. Let me pull up. Whoops, I am on Discord. I don't need to be, I need to be over here. All right, Hum. So here we go. Hamilton, US mid-stock, small cap financials, right over here. So let's take a gander here. And I think we were looking at this, I thought we were looking at this the other day, but let's go to, why am I not seeing anything? Cannot read properties of undefined. Okay, well, let's try this one more time. All right. Let's just go regular Hum, I guess. Yeah, I might have clicked on the other Hum because they had another listing for Hum. Okay. Okay. Oh, gosh, look at this. Let me just pull this out a bit. There we go. I was like, what the heck was I looking at? All right. So yeah, look at this. I love this growth right off the bat. This to me, like I look at this and I'm like, that looks great. I can go out 3 years. All right. Now going out 3 years is not as great, but one of the things with some of these with some of these Hamilton is that they may have retooled this ETF at some point along this 3-year process. And here's the 5-year. Well, 5 years not bad. Like, look, if they started down here, so it might still be the same ETF, but I'd go in and I'd take a look because I have seen situations. So, for example, if you go really far back on the Canoe, they actually retooled it at one point in it. So you can go back further than their inception date, but because that happens. So one of the things like Canoe, for example, they are coming out with a premium income fund. I think they're meeting on it. I believe it's June 10th. And this is going to be a Canoe that uses covered calls. So I need more info. I don't have a lot of information on it yet, but they're taking one of their other funds and they're turning it into this fund. So that'll be kind of interesting, but I'll definitely talk about it once they come out because I think that would be a lot of fun. But all right, so we got that. That looks good. Let's take a look. Actually, before we go to the key data, what was the actual? Okay, it's got a very small distribution. So I think this is. I know I've looked at this one before. I think you asked me to look at it before. So they obviously are not using covered calls. So that's fantastic. That's just fantastic. This could be a very good total return stock. So let's come into our key data a little bit here and take a look at a few things. Now you'll notice here, sometimes you don't get like your return on equity, return on assets, a lot of these things. Sometimes you don't when you're dealing with an ETF. But they've been paying a half decent dividend. So, the whole time. And this to me looks like I see 2 dividends here on January 12th. So it looks like they gave a bonus dividend as well. So that's not too shabby. Yeah, I'm liking the looks of what I see so far. Yeah, I would say. Now I would have to, actually the best place to go for this one here is Hum. Let's do it. Let's go. So with ETFs too, you always kind of want to go to their, and I'm just going to put Hamilton here to make sure I get it. There's HCal. Let's see here. Here's Hum right here. You also want to always go to their website itself because you can get a lot more information, I find, with ETFs because they don't always give you everything that you're looking for. So here, let's pull this up. Come on, just get me. Let's see here. I'm looking for Hum. All right, U.S. mid-cap financials outperforms. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get a bit more here. Okay, so it's just showing me a little bit about how they're outperforming. This is kind of interesting. It's not giving me the normal page. I don't know why. I'm going to try going this way here. Let's see here. Oops. All right. Where is... Oh, look at that. It's because they're not even listed in there. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, no, here they are. Right over here. Let's go this way. No, it's still giving me that same thing here. Oh, here's the fact sheet. Let's go to the fact sheet. Sure. We'll go that route. We'll see what they gave us. All right, let's pull this up here. All right. This is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for. So here we go. Yeah, so here's basically they do this thing. They always do this thing where if you had put $10,000 in it on June of 2020, where would it be today? So it's kind of an interesting thing. They do break down, but here's the nice thing too is you can also get a good look at their diversification, what they're looking at. Let's see what else we got here. Here's their top holdings, just here so you can get a general idea of what they're holding. Here's a little bit of the fun details. So here's some stuff that we're looking for. Things like the management fee is in here. Their inception date, June 26, 2020. Okay, so there we go. Now we know that that whole thing was legitimate. That's fantastic. Let's see here. I want more details. So this isn't giving me a lot. Like I would have to dig around a little bit in here to find, like for example, I do not from here. It's giving me the management fee, but I also want the MER. So the management fee. So the difference between management fee and MER is your management fee is how much it costs to manage the portfolio. But when you take that cost and then you take all of the administrative costs, you take any other fees or any other costs at all outside of just managing the ETF itself, add that all together, and that becomes your MER. So your management expense ratio. So that's where that sort of comes in. But I think Hum looks pretty good. I mean, going back to they also have these ETFs, but yeah. So there's just a whole bunch of different information in there. But when you look at it from here, sorry, what am I looking at? I do not know why the 5K looks really weird. It's just cutting data on it. But when you look at it from here, I mean, yeah, they've been on a good tier. And this makes sense because what was happening here, that was a bear market. So that's very, very understandable. And that's always the thing. Ask yourself, well, what was happening during this? If something was happening that was affecting the entire market, like a bear market, then you can be like, okay, that's fine. But if it was a bull market, if we were in a strong bull market and you had this big movement down, then that would be some red flags if everybody else was doing okay. So just something to keep in mind. Okay. All right, that was Hum. And Mary says, hit the like button. Yeah, slam that like button. Slam the like button. What are your thoughts on HEQL? Also, would you do a breakdown of that ticker? HEQL, well, whoops. Second I bring it down, I have to bring it back up, don't I? HEQL, here we go. So once again, another one of the global X, like that last video I did, we had a lot of these all in there. All right, so this, of course, is your Global X Enhanced All Equity Asset Allocation ETF. Now, I had one of these. Actually, did I not do this one? I thought no, I didn't. That's interesting. HEQ, yeah, the one I did had a much bigger yield than this. I was actually looking at it because it was a covered call. So, yeah, this is another interesting one here. Why is it a little bit low? Oh, they haven't put anything in their investor kit yet, so they can't be that old. Exactly. So there they are. They just started in 2023. Now, because of the L, I'm pretty sure they're using some leverage on here, but I think they're not using covered calls because if they were using covered calls and leverage, their distribution yield would be much bigger than a 1.962. But here's the thing. When you're looking at total return, look at this. You know, if you had bought in at the beginning of the year, you know, you've taken from 20 to 24. So you're picking up a good return here. So it's not too shabby for sure. So I do like it. HEQL. So what I will do though is come on, let's go. Let's go back over here. Well, let's go to Discord. Over here at Discord, we got the pool. This is where I drop in the things that people have requested. So we're going to edit this and we're going to put in HEQL. There we go. So it will come up for a vote, as all of these do. Yeah, very, very cool. All right, let's get rid of that. We'll get back to some questions here. Mario says Hamilton has 5 ETF, but this one has low volume trade. Um, Keep in mind it's new too at the same time. And plus, if it's not as flashy, so if it's not as flashy as some of the cover call ones, it's probably going to have a little bit, it's not going to have as many people flashing to it, because you have a huge amount of people that as soon as they see really big yields, they're in there. So I'm not going to call them yield chasers, but they're just people who are like, okay, I'm looking for the big yields. I'm looking to build up that income. So that's always an interesting thing. Amvest says, unfortunately, have plans this fall. However, if I'm able to attend the Blossom Investor Toronto in June, would you still consider an Ottawa banana bread meetup? If so, how best to go from Toronto to Ottawa? Yeah, we'll figure something out. I would definitely love to have some kind of a meetup. We'll work it out. We'll figure it out. I haven't put a lot of thought into it, but let me think on it. Let me think. So is the Blossom app only for Canada? So currently, right now, Canada and the US. So as long as you're in North America, it is for you. So if you're in the US, you can join. And I think even if you're outside of Canada, you can still join. Just there probably won't be any support for, like, if you want to, for example, add your broker, you're probably not going to be able to unless you're in Canada or the US. But you should be able to join. You should be able to follow me. And we should still be able to communicate on Blossom. So where are you, Andy? Are you? For some reason, I thought you were in the U.S., but I don't know why. I think because you always ask about U.S. stocks. So I'm thinking. Steven says, I will join Discord after work. Fantastic. Fantastic. You'll end up getting a bunch of waves on the welcome screen right away. Oh, you're in the EU. Okay. Yeah, you should still be able to sign up. Just download it onto your phone. Use my link, and you just won't be able to attach your account. But I know that eventually, down the road, they are planning to expand like worldwide eventually. I don't know what the time frame is on that, but yeah, you should be able to have no issues signing up. Andy says, just invested in Canadian banks for the long term. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, well, I mean, the Canadian banks, a lot of people are always asking about why are the Canadian banks just so much more stable than like the US banking system? And it all comes down to one thing. So the Canadian banking system, it's actually based off of the Scottish banking system. So when when settlers came over here, they were coming from Scotland, and they brought their own system with them, which was the Scottish banking system. So with that system, it's just another kind of interesting situation. It creates that whole oligarchy situation, which is fine. I mean, I'd love to see more competition amongst them. And I'm kind of glad that we do have some of the smaller banks. Like I personally, I use EQB, so EQ Bank. But that's just kind of the reason. Like at one point, when the banks first got here, like the banks used to actually print their own money. And not like Canadian money. Like you used to be able to get like Bank of Nova Scotia money. And when I'm not even talking that long ago. Like I believe the Bank of Nova Scotia money, you could still get it like in the 1940s, maybe even the 50s. I don't know when it completely went out, but they used to have their own currency. So kind of a very interesting thing. But it's part of the reason that we got set up into the oligarchy that we're in right now. Just the way the banks kind of came together, based off of, like I said, based off and inspired by the British, the Scottish more than just the British. So just something to keep in mind. And Stephen is waving. All right. And Al Bundy is saying Canadian banks is a monopoly. Yeah, well, it's an oligopoly, but I mean, there's not that much difference sometimes. Kind of the same idea. Like that's the thing with Canada. You got a lot of these things from our banks. You got like Big Six. You got the telecoms. You got the big three. Insurance companies, once again, you get like a big three there as well. So yeah, it tends to be what happens in Canada, unfortunately. Uh, I would love to see, if I had my choice, I probably would choose the telecommunication sector to break open first because, right now prices are just absolutely crazy. But when you look at our banking system, and this is the one positive side to this, is you even look at things like the 2008 crisis, the whole mortgage crisis that happened in the States. Um, their banks got hit hard. Our banks, they weren't hit that bad. It was very recoverable up here. It's very rare that a Canadian bank is out of business. We have had some banks that have gone out of business, but it's a rare thing. So it isn't. It's kind of that thing. It's like you pay for. Well, here's the thing. I mean, you pay for it with all the service charges and everything, but um, at the same time, you get to have that little bit of peace of mind that, our financial system was probably not going to collapse, no matter what gets thrown at it. There's probably a limit somewhere, but, anyway. Anyway, guys, this has been a fantastic stream. Once again, you guys are awesome. This is one of the best communities on the internet for sure. So I can't wait. And I will put that thing up on Blossom. So if you want to put your mug up on it, you can. You don't have to. There's no pressure at all. But if you want to, that would be really, really, really cool. I think right now, out of all of you, there's a couple of you from your icon I've seen a little glimpse that I think is you. And I've seen Enid once because one day on Facebook it said people you might know, and it had Enid there, and I was like, oh, I think that's Enid. So, I think she's the only one I probably know. But yeah, just throw your mugs in there if you want to, and that'd be kind of fun. And we'll just create a thing so you can just put in whatever you want. Exactly. And Mario says Blossom in Ottawa would be nice. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. If we have, if they're coming in the fall, and we're going to do that in the fall, we'll like what we can do is we could all meet up before the Blossom thing or something. Maybe maybe have a meal or something together, and then we'll head over to the Blossom thing. Depending on how many. I mean, if there's like 100 of you, then we may not have room at a table. We might have to sort of rotate. I don't know. We'll look at it. We'll look at it. And Muggsy just got in at the end. And I'll catch the replay. All right. Anyway, it was nice to see you, Muggsy. I will be thinking of you I'll be thinking of you in the replay. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And Mary says, thank you for all that you do. You're welcome. And that's a perfect one to end on. Anyway, guys, this has been fantastic. We're going to be back here again on Friday. Bonus. So that'll be awesome. Until then, we'll see you guys a little bit later. Take care.